Jeremy here, Metal Music Meltdown, back with another video. What I have today, guys, is another album review. This time we're checking out the band Ashes of Eris. This is a new band for me. This is their fourth full-length in total, entitled New Messiahs. They were formed back in 2012 in New York, in the US. They're like a progressive power metal band out of the US. They're comprised of two former members of Iced Earth, Matt Barlow on vocals and Freddie Vidales on guitars and bass. And if I'm not mistaken, the drummer was formerly of Nevermore. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not 100% sure. But I'm not familiar with these guys. Like I said, I've never heard them before. I got sent this to me through my email to check it out. It doesn't get an official North American release date until August the 8th. But it is technically out in Europe already on the 18th. It just dropped there a couple days ago. And the album's already on YouTube and available online. So I wanted to review it at least for my European viewers. And then if you are in the North America, just take in mind it won't be released here technically on physical copy until August the 8th. But let's jump right in, guys. In terms of the songs, it's got... looks like there's might be two different versions. The ones that I was able to find online only had 10 tracks. I think it's mostly their material. But I'm not sure if there's like a special edition version that has 2 extra songs. But the version I heard online had 10 tracks. And it was about 48 minutes in length. But it didn't have Infection Deception, which is a song showing online that I'm not sure that's on a different version of the album. And there's also a cover of And the House Fell Down by Elton John. So Elton John covered that. I didn't hear that song, so I won't be reviewing it. The version I heard only had 10 tracks, not 12. So I'm not sure if the 12 track one is like a special edition version where you get the cover and an extra song. I'm not 100% sure on that, guys, but for the reviewing purposes, I'm going to be reviewing what I was sent and what I have access to, which is like the 10 track version. It opens up with Novus Ordo, which is a cool little intro, kind of soft at the beginning, and then it gets a little bit heavier. Nothing too crazy, just a good opener, but nothing mind-blowing or anything. And maybe I should caveat it on before I get into this as well. I don't think I've even heard a Iced Earth album before, to be honest. It's a band that I've always kind of overlooked. I've always been familiar with them or heard of them, but I've never really checked out any of their albums. You know, I've heard Matt Barlow come up in discussion about being a vocalist for Iced Earth, and it's a band I never really checked out. I'm not sure why, but it never appealed to me enough to really check them out. But let me know down below if you are an Iced Earth fan, how this album compares. Is it very similar to their sound, or is it heavier, lighter, whatever? Let me know. But anyways, getting back into the album, track number 2 was the title track, New Messiahs. Really good rocker, really good heavy riffs on this one. His vocals are good, they're kind of shouty, but at this point in the first couple songs, I found him to be kind of one-noted. It was kind of like the same tone, same delivery, kind of had me a little bit worried at first. But when I got further into the album, I'll describe it in a minute. He definitely had more dynamics, but just not at the beginning. And the next song, Two Graves, was a good like little thrasher kind of song, a little bit of high intensity, really good riffs on this one, really clean guitar solos on the album as well. I really enjoyed the tone in the guitars in general. Two Graves was a really good banger. I really enjoyed that one. But again, the vocals were kind of level across the song. And then the next song, Where You Go, was started off kind of a ballady song. And I instantly noticed the big change in the vocals. It was definitely more of a crooning style vocal and more clean tone, not the shouty vocal. And it had a really nice tone to his voice. Almost didn't even sound like the same guy. But I really like his voice in this more crooning style. He's got a really nice tone and a beautiful delivery. And then about a minute or two into the song, it punches in with this like heavy riff, and it gets super heavy. And then it goes back to kind of the shouting, gruffy riff, or gruffy voice. And it really does contrast really well when you go from that kind of crooning, soft, ballady kind of music right into the super heavy. I really enjoyed that song. It was really good. It was about 6.5 minutes, but I dug that one. A beautiful song, good contrast of heavy and light. Again, at least it showed more variety in his vocals. It wasn't quite one noted, which I was worried about, but a good tune. And then the next song, Wake Up Vultures, was a good tune, another heavy one, banger, almost bordering on thrash, like really fast tempo, machine gun riffs, big blast beats, really nice shreddy guitar solo in that one. Really dug that song as well. And then Atrophy was the next song, another song that's kind of more thrashy, high tempo, high energy, really heavy. His vocals are more on the screaming, shouting part again, but good tune. And then Keep On Walking was more of a power ballad kind of song. He went back to the more crooning style vocals, which I really enjoy. There was kind of burst of heaviness throughout the song, but for the most part, it was more mid-paced and more slowed down, more of a ballady type feel, but more of a power ballad. Like it did have some kind of some teeth in there, some balls. Some heavy guitars popped in from time to time, but overall more of a power ballad kind of tune. But I really dug it. I love his vocals in that range. And then The Hawk and the Dove was a good song. Wasn't one of my favorites on the album. It felt a little bit more disjointed. It was it would go like kind of fast-paced vocal delivery and then slow and then crooning, and then rough. It was kind of all over the place. Songwriting, it didn't feel quite as cohesive. It was a little bit more disjointed. I didn't like that song as much. And then Lust to Feed was more of a thrashy, like a high intensity song. I like the intensity of that one. Really good riffs as well, memorable. And then it closes out with From Hell He Rides. And I really dug that song, super catchy. Again, very high intensity, more of a thrashy style, almost like song. Really dug that to close out the album. And like I said, online it shows the Elton John cover is the last song, but like I said, the version I heard didn't have those 2 extra songs. Overall, really good listen. I really enjoyed it. Like it's heavy, it's got good riffs. His vocals are pretty good. I prefer him in the more crooning style. He's got a much better tone that way. When he stays in the kind of screaming delivery, it's kind of one-noted and kind of, level across the board. There's not much inflection in his voice. It's very standard, if you will. But a couple songs like Where You Go, he would have his kind of crooning, kind of nice tone. And then when he did do the screams, it was even a little bit different than his other screams. It had a little bit more rasp and power to it. He kind of pushed himself a little bit more. I really dug that. But the other songs like New Messiah, Two Graves, and a couple other tracks where he's in that kind of just shouting range, it just sounds one-noted to me. I didn't really like that. But there's other songs where he showed more dynamic in his voice. But overall, the guitar playing was really good. Good riffs, good guitar tone, good tasteful solos. Really memorable songs, very still heavy, but catchy at the same time. A lot of infused melody in the songs as well. A lot of little groove pockets throughout the album. I really dug it. It was a good listen. It kind of makes me want to go check out some of my Earth stuff if it does sound familiar to this. This is kind of a blend of like US power metal and like traditional metal, a little bit of thrash elements on some songs. I really dug it. It was a good listen. Nice and heavy, catchy, not too much to complain about. Production was pretty good. The guitars were pretty heavy. The drums hit pretty hard. Everything was mixed really well. Like it was pretty balanced. Standout tracks for me were Where You Go, Wake the Vultures, Atrophy, and Keep On Walking. That 4 songs in the middle, in a row, right in the middle. I thought those were the best. And then From Hell He Rides, I think the closing track was really good as well. But every song was pretty decent. There wasn't a song I really hated. Just the one song, Lust to Feed, was one song I didn't like. Not Lust to Feed, sorry. The Hawk and the Dove was the one song I didn't like as much. It was probably the weakest song on the album to me. But overall, pretty solid listen. I enjoyed it. I kind of want to check out their other albums as well. Like I said, this is their fourth one. For a rating out of 10, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It's a good listen. Definitely one I might think of picking up on CD. Maybe if I come across it on like Amazon or something for a decent price. But pretty good stuff. So let me know down below, guys, what you thought of the album, and let me know if it compares to Iced Earth, or do they have a similar sound? Is it pretty much the exact same? Let me know down below if you are familiar with Iced Earth. And thanks for watching, guys. Keep it metal.